but the last 20% of my calories I get to play with. In this video, we're going to look at how to work out and still look feminine. Check it out. First and foremost, the fitness industry has lied to women. It's lied to men as well, but for the most part, it's lied to women. They say that you can only train legs and that strength training and lifting weights are bad for you, which, trust me, it is not. It is not bad for you. Or that lifting weights will make you look like a bodybuilder. Trust me, it won't. I promise you, the truth is, lifting weights will help you get that feminine physique that you're truly after. But that being said, and all things being equal, it's about your body image and being happy with where you are now. It's a process of the journey, and it took me way too long to get that. Please heed my warning, and start better than I did. Understand that point, because it took me way too long to get that. Thank you. Now, we've already talked about lifting weights a little bit, but first and foremost, I want to talk about a balanced lifestyle. The balanced lifestyle is the key to it all. It is what keeps you happy, keeps you motivated, keeps you going. A balanced lifestyle means that you're moving and doing your strength training, doing your diet training, and that doesn't mean necessarily just losing weight, but your diet. What you're physically allowing into your body, mind, and soul. That means music, that means books, that means TV shows, all of it. And it's just a question of auditing your life and auditing your week. Are you allowing the good things to come in, and are you allowing physical activity to do what it's supposed to do? Because it actually is supposed to make you happy. Taking this and building the right way, breaking down all of the bad habits that you have, and replacing them with better habits and better habits and better habits until it's just a changed lifestyle. Because making a change for a little while is not going to help make a change and keep that change for the long period. There's a reason why these fad diets haven't been working at all, right? They haven't been working. I know one example, the military diet, because I tried this one and it was fucking awful. But I lost a lot of weight, but I didn't see any difference in the mirror. It's because I washed away all of my carbs, right? Carbs hold water, and then I just released all of my body of carbs. I wasn't getting any more because I was just eating eggs. But it released all of the water from my body. I dehydrated myself, and then I couldn't perform in the gym after that. That's why you're losing a lot of weight with these fad diets, because you're cutting carbs, and then it cuts water weight, and then you eat a salty meal or have a nice pop to treat yourself, and then you gain all of it back, and you're just like, what the hell? I just put all that work in for 5-6 pounds, and it's back already. It's a small change over the course of time that makes this differences stick. It's a lifestyle change, but let's get into the caloric deficit and the strength training piece now. Coming up. Caloric deficit. Most Americans, on average, carry too much body fat. We do. It's true. It's not anything about our society, or maybe it is. But it's just that we have a lot of access to food. It's cheap, it's readily available, and then for the most part, it tastes good. So why wouldn't you want to eat it? And don't get me wrong, I love my Oreos and my Doritos and my chips too, but it's a fact that most Americans carry too much body fat. The goal for body fat for women should be right around 25%. Men, if you're watching, it's right around 15%. So that brings us to caloric deficit. And with the last piece, it's a caloric deficit over a long period of time. It's a small caloric deficit to make a change, right? And it's the nutrition of it. It's the 80-20 rule. I like the 80-20 rule because it keeps my calorie deficit non-restrictive, right? If I want the chips, if I want the pop, if I want the ice cream, I can get it, right? It's 80% of my foods I keep whole, natural, healthy foods, the broccolis, the vegetables, the lean meats, the stuff that we know are healthier, making the healthier decisions. But the last 20% of my calories I get to play with and have the other stuff, because life is about balance and about enjoyment, not just having abs. but it's a healthier lifestyle. With the caloric deficit, we want to program protein first. First and foremost, we want to program protein. Usually, I go for right around 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. And then next, you want to program carbs. In my story about the military diet, it was the carbs that were fucking me, right? So, carbs are actually your friend. They are not the devil, and they're not evil, right? They give us energy. They make us feel good. They give us energy and passion and bring us to life. And then I use the remaining calories after I program fats and carbs, and I plug in my fats. That is usually whatever left over. So I'll find out my TDE, my total daily energy expenditure, and then I'll subtract 500 from that. But for the most part, most people carry too much body fat. That's just a fact. And I'm sorry if that hurts your feelings, but that is a fact. So we're not going to get into the bulking side of this right now. But we will get that later in the channel. But it is the fact that you take your calories first and foremost, plug in your caloric deficit, and then add in your strength training. And speaking of strength training, we're going to get into that now. Strength training will not make you look like a bodybuilder. In fact, it will probably help you build the curves that you're wishing that you had. Yes, there are genetic differences in how lean someone already is naturally. There are genetic differences in how small their waist or how wide their waists are naturally, right? But there are things that we can do to help train and build up the body that we want. We want bigger legs. We're going to strength train heavier legs, right? And yes, I think women should also strength train with their shoulders and their traps and their upper chest. And where we're getting this is a full body training program. The lies from the industry has said that women can only and should only train legs if you want a bigger butt. And yes, that's true. But you should also train everything, right? A woman that has wider lats, this muscle right here, the lateral side of our body, will actually help you look like you have a smaller waist, and then help you shape that hourglass figure even if you have big hips. Because there's nothing we can do about big hips, but we can change how big our muscles are. That's why we need a full body, comprehensive training program. In the training program, we also include cardio, because cardio is good to help you just be physically fit and be active. You don't necessarily need cardio to lose weight. You don't need it to build muscle, but it's an addition that we should have, in my opinion. Now, for the gym, it doesn't really doesn't take that much to start to build muscle. Newbies, and I'm sure if you're watching this video, newbies gain muscle at an astronomically faster rate than more advanced lifters. You guys can gain muscle way faster than someone else who has been in the gym for 5 years. There's a law of diminishing return if you're interested in that kind of thing. But you should be training in strength training roughly 2 to 3 times a week. Now, don't get afraid or fearful when I mention the gym. The gym, in my opinion, is the best way to sculpt the body and to build muscle. It can add a lot of resistance in a natural way that our bodies are already used to. But there are other ways to build muscle and build functionality muscle, really, too. Like, for example, my girlfriend, she watches a lot of Chloe Ting, and I've seen the muscle definition being built on her from just an at-home bodyweight program, because they do work. They do work, but eventually, if you're not going into calisthenics and using the rig that they have, you're going to have to add in more resistance somewhere and somehow. And from my experience, the gym does it the best way. So yes, you can do the at-home bodyweight program first and foremost to get used to the training and get your body used to it, and then eventually move on into the gym. And again, I'll help you with that later on in the channel. You should also be lifting heavy. Yes, a lot of people say that women shouldn't be lifting heavy, and they are dead wrong. Wrong. Women should also be lifting heavy because that's how you build muscle. There is no genetic difference between a male muscle and a female muscle. There is no difference. It's all muscle, and so you have to build muscle the way that muscle is built. Most of the differences between strength ability between men and women is literally just the amount of muscle that we have. Men on average carry more muscle and therefore can lift heavier objects. Women have less muscle, so then they can't lift as heavy objects, but we still have the propensity to build the muscle equally. But our women, for the most part, should be training at an RPE of 7. That is rate of perceived exertion. Rate of perceived exertion. And that means that's how hard it is. It is completely subjective to you. I can't tell you what an RPE is, and you can't tell me what an RPE is. They are two completely different ideas from me and you. They are. And what's also interesting is that they change from day to day as well. So it's like how hard it is on this specific day, on this specific training with these other variables going on, meaning your food intake, your water intake, how hot it was, how much activity you did that day, how tired are you, how sore are you, all of it. All of it comes to play in RPE. But what's cool about RPE is that you get to use it to go really, really heavy when you're feeling good, and then take a break when you're not feeling so good, and then it levels out over the average with the law of average. But that is, for the most part, strength training. You need a 1 hour per day, per session, mind you, of strength training. I tend to prefer CrossFit. It gives me the most flexibility in my training schedule, that I can do what I want. It gives me a lot of activity and a lot of variation into my movements, that I'm not doing the same 15 moves over and over and over again. So I enjoy that piece of it, but you don't have to necessarily use CrossFit or use the gym. You can do the at-home resistance training programs, but I would highly, highly, highly suggest using a strength training or resistance training program. Check one out, please. And that about just does it, guys. So let's recap. The lies that you guys have been told was that lifting weights was bad for women, and that you are going to look like a bodybuilder if you even pick up a weight. Both of those are wrong. Both of them are dead wrong. You should be auditing your diet, what your daily intake is, not just food, but your music, your TV shows, all of it, so that you can build a happy, balanced lifestyle. And then adding in a strength training and cardio session a couple of times a week over a long time period. Now, do all of that being said, that is a lot to take in, and just to start right away. It is a small change over the course of time that makes things effective and makes things work. Don't beat yourself up if you're not doing all of this by tomorrow. Please don't. Please don't, and I have to get myself onto that as well. But just be better about it tomorrow, and then be better about it tomorrow, and be better about it the next day, and then be better about it next week. It's just making the small changes over a course of time. Because I promise you, when you, at 6 months from now, and you're looking back at yourself today, you're going to notice a lot of differences that you're not going to notice in 3 months, because you're with yourself every single day. So in that, I leave you with this. I would highly recommend taking a body picture, a progress picture, at least once a week. At least once a week, front and back, just so you can see and document where you've come. Try to use the same lighting in the same location in the same clothes every single time, so that you can keep that same difference, and then people can actually, not even people, just you. I mean, you can share them if you want to, but it's for you, first and foremost, to see your own progress, and to help you when you think it's not working. You can look back and see how far you've really come. Because that's what it is. It's not how far we have to go, it's how far we've come that keeps us pushing. I love your faces, and I'll see you for the next video.